You're very welcome to this up and around trad climbing routes guide. The Roaches is a Gritstone Crag not far from the town of Leek in Staffordshire, and it consists of two levels, the upper and lower tiers. This crag is probably one of the most popular of the western Gritstone edges, with routes to suit all abilities. It has easy access and good parking, but only park in the marked bays as you may be ticketed if you don't. The upper tier is home to the infamous Sloth and Pedestal route, along with Muads Garden, Damascus Crag, Inverted Staircase, Beckermet Slab and Heather Slab. The lower tier is home to Chalckstom and the amazing Valkarie and Contrary Mary. The Don Willans Memorial Hut is also on the lower tier and is available for hire should you want to extend your visit. All of these and more routes are available on this channel. This guide covers the lower tier right area of the Roaches in the Staffordshire Peak District. Yongeret is near the top of the steps and it doesn't have a lot of protection. Poisonous Python. This snaky crack is a short route that goes up the buttress. Yong. A 2-star jamming crack for the jamming crack lovers. Something better change. This journey up the centre of the slab will concentrate your mind. Small holds and a rounded exit. Wisecrack. Possibly an intelligent route up the steep diagonal crack. Hypothesis. Start up Wisecrack and then move right up the arete. Cannonball Crack. A wide and tough crack leads to the exit over the Chalckstom. Destination. Bold and technical, this route does not have a lot of protection. Swinger. A steep crack that leads to a chance to practice the final section of Via della Rosa. Raven Rock Gully. Ascend the dark rift to the exit through a hole. Deep dark fun. Graffiti, up the arete to finish up the crack above Cannonball Crack. Sidewinder, start at Swinger and move up the groove to the underside of the roof, then conquer the flakes up to climb the arete. Via della Rosa, an expedition across the buttress. This route can be split into several pitches, and watch out for rope drag. Dorothy's Dilemma, not a lot of gear on this arete, use your feet and a lot of commitment. Bengal Buttress, up the left arete and then cross the ledge to the right arete, then up and left to finish up the flake. Schoolies, pretty much straight up the face, over the bulges, go boldly. Raven Rock Gully left hand, into the depths of the gully to climb the long steep left groove and out via the small gap. Crack of Gloom. The crack on the left of the gully needs a lot of jamming while ascending the continuous series of blocks. This leads to a full-on fist jamming exit. Guano Gully. The crack grows smaller as you ascend this groove and overhang. Valkarie, a mystery journey with many challenges and a hidden foothold. Watch out for rope drag and consider how you're going to protect those who follow you. A real classic route. Mousie's Mistake. Up the right side of the gully to the roof, then past the overhang to the left side of the slab. Eugene's Axe. Climb the arete, then climb what's in front of you to mantle the exit. Matinee. Usually a damp and smelly place to do a jamming route. It's a challenging 2-star route. Northern Comfort. If Valkarie isn't enough for you, you can branch off from the top of the flake to climb the wall, past the flakes to the arete. Secrets of Dance. Up Pebble Dash's groove to the crack in the steep wall, then follow the ramp on the right to an easier exit. License to Run. You can follow the right flakes up the right for pumpy good fun. License to Lust. As with License to Run, you can move left across the wall for another challenge. Valkarie Direct. A direct route jamming up the steep crack in the arete to the bottom of the flake, then finish up Valkarie's route. Pincer. Climb the small wall to the bulges, then right across to the gully. Finish up the crack, and the start is the best part. The mincer. Definitely one for those who like mincing. Into the groove, then mince to the right to the nose, then finish up the very nice cracks. Smear test. Ascend to the right of the roof, then at the top of the bulge head right across the slab to the crack which will lead you to the summit. A little peculiar. Oh, an awesome roof leads to a one-armed mantel shelf with no footholes. If that sounds like you, off you go. Let me know in the comments how it was for you. Clive Coolhead. On the right side of Elegy, the slab is there to challenge the limits of friction. Watch out for swingers. Elegy. Reputed to be the best slab on Western Grit. Up the overhanging corner to the crack before moving left along the flake and up the slab to the exit. Intense and just a little scary. Pebble Dash. A groove up the start to Valkarie leads to steep rock and a traverse on the main groove or the flake, you choose. Against the grain. Climb the flake and crack, then go left on the tiny holds to finish up the Secrets of Dance exit. Thing on a spring. Very hard wall climbing here. It includes the use of a re-glued pebble. The final crack is easier though. The Swan. A committed traverse is key to this, as is a run up to reduce the pendulum effect. Swan Bank. It's a link between the mincer and the end of the Swan traverse. Little chimney. A little chimney at the back of the bay. A good mission for beginners. Battery crack. A harder crack turns into a groove above, awkward and jammy with a touch of chimney. Lucas chimney. A tight squeeze up a well protected chimney to an awkward exit left. Goldcrest. Climb the left arête of the Hawkwing buttress. A 3-star classic. Kicking Bird. Up through the bulge to the slab, follow the crack across left to rejoin the slab to climb up and right before finishing back and left. Bloodstone. Like Kicking Bird, but leave out the trip to the side of the slab. Bloodspeed. Start Kicking Bird, then head right. Minimal holds and weak smears. Perhaps some reliance on the force being with you on this one. The Bulger. The corner leans out to the crack above. Very bulgy indeed. Fledgling's Climb. From the gully, traverse left above the overhang to climb the wall and rib. Hawkwing. Move up the left arête and follow cracks to the right arête, then diagonally across parallel cracks to the final arête on the left. Carrion. Up the centre of the front face, over the overhang, finishing through the notch in the top wall. Kestrel Crack. A tricky start up a hanging fissure leads to an equally tricky exit. Headless Horseman. Up Kestrel Crack, then traverse to ascend the scary arête. Logical progression. The lower hanging arête is approached by traversing from the right. Continue up the arête above and onto the exit. Very logical. Sleepy Hollow. Change the middle of logical progression to get the illogical E10 7A 3-star arête and nose fest. Flimney. This flake and chimney groove follows on from a bulge and vegetation introduction. It's agricultural fun. Amaranth. Up the blunt arête, then left onto the slab. More greenery here. Death Knell. Up the blunt rib and bulges to continue up the crack. Scary and a bad landing if the death knell tolls. Hrodren. Climb the groove up to the overhang and then lay back to the right. Easier for the taller person. Straight Crack. Bridge the corner to achieve the step into the crack. The bridge is the hard part perhaps. Flake Chimney. Traverse across the perched flake to an easy groove. Could scare beginners. Flaky Chimney Direct. Turns a diff into a very severe 4C. Enough said. Punch. A tough approach to a hanging groove, then an easier finish. Chocker. Up through the roof by way of the thin crack and follow the crack up to the top. Prow Cracks. Climb the left-hand crack, then cross to the right near the bulges. A good jamming route. Prow Cracks variation. Climb the right-hand crack all the way. A harder version of this route. Circuit Breaker. Climb the arête to the flake above the slab perched on top of the buttress. Hunky Dory. Thin twisty cracks lead to a tricky mantelshelf finish. Pumpy and technical. Prow Corner. Up the left edge of the recess. Don't step right if you want the full experience. Prow Corner Twin Cracks. A popular and tricky route. Microstorm. Welcome to the world of friction. 2 ways here, up or down. Some say up is less painful. Chalckstom. A contentious route this one. Unprotected moves get you an E4-5C. A side runner drops you into a hard very severe. Friction and true grit wins here. Commander energy. Climb the arete to reach the flying fin, then traverse out left before rocking on and laying back to finish up the arete. Then start breathing again. Sumo cellulite. Straight up the face of the flying fin after starting the Commander energy route. Rocking stone galley. Up the grassy groove over wobbly chalkstones. The rocking stone is less rocking these days. Captain lethargy. Climb the crack in the slab up and left. A nice short route if you can be bothered. Sifter's Quid inside route. Into the depths of the crag. This route takes a behind the scenes view of Gritstone. A squeeze and a squirm works well here. Sifter Squid. A bulging crack line with big hand jams. Tricky and worthy. Obsession Fatale. An E8 for the bold, brave or foolhardy. Peace of mind. Top roping has polished this unprotected blunt rib. Best attempted with some sticky rubber. Thin air. Very precarious, and the landing, should it happen, is a bad one. Final destination. A board slab with the same problems as thin air, but harder. Please subscribe and press the notification and like buttons. It costs you nothing and it helps this channel to grow.